What's going on, guys? This is Evan the Xenogears Enthusiast here, bringing you another gameplay commentary for the Xbox 360 version of Dark Souls. This will be the second installment of the Elly series of videos where I do a modified Let's Play. In these videos I commentate, not live, I do a post-gameplay commentary where I sort of highlight and discuss the major moments in a character's development, regardless of how insignificant or significant they are, but important nevertheless. This will likely include the discovery of rare weapons, the creation of rare weapons, the purchasing of low-end items for the characters progress through the game. Currently, Elly is rocking the Astora's Straight Sword and the Dragon's Crest Shield, I believe, both of which can be located at the start of the game, which I outline in the first installment of the videos. Now, with the sort of formal introduction away, this video is going to be battling our way through the Undead Burg in order to reach the Undead Parish and to proceed forward with the game. The first merchant here, I've already purchased the necessary mandatory items, or at least most of them, like the repair box and things like that. At least I think I have. I didn't actually check. I wanted to include the purchase of the heater shield in this video because I'm undecided. It may become one of the sort of final inclusions on this build, which is pretty interesting because a heater shield isn't something you normally see in a lot of character builds, but this character is going to be skimping on strength. Elly is going to be a faith-based caster with stack vitality and endurance for her PvP nature, because Elly will ultimately wind up stopping at soul level 120 to 125 and complete a new game and just barely dabbling in New Game Plus to get the last couple miracles I want. That's how this sort of Elly series of videos will probably conclude, with a series of, PvP videos. Ooh, guy gets the sort of jab in the back kind of thing. Went ahead and parried him just out of rage for getting a hit on me. So yeah, right now we're just using the introductory miracles and sort of slightly overpowered weapons right at the start. I just want to elaborate. This character will not be getting the Drake Sword, not because I think it's particularly cheap or anything like that. I don't have the strength to wield it unless I two-hand it, and I don't two-hand weapons traditionally. I just picked up a humanity off killing that enemy. For those of you that don't know, when you kill an enemy, it has a chance of dropping like a soft humanity. Certain enemies like rats will drop humanity in the item form, but that's soft humanity. It's pretty valuable, but really easy to lose. They can be, because if you die twice, you lose all your souls and humanity that you currently have on you. But whenever you kill an enemy, there's a chance they'll drop that, I believe. I'm not sure the exact mechanics of it, but I know they can drop up to 10 soft humanity prior to you killing the boss. Apologize for that. I'm having sort of throat issues, but I'm not going to stop commentating just for that. I've already purchased the Resonance Key, which you get from the first Undead Merchant. It's actually a really important thing to purchase because it unlocks numerous doors of significance to any character, and even having the Master Key like I do won't negate the need for it completely. I'll talk a little bit more about that when the time comes, but it's only 1,000 souls, so everyone should pick it up. But the reason the heater shield also might make it into the final build of this character is I plan to stop at roughly 12 strength, or exactly 12 strength rather, which is the starting strength of a cleric class, which Elly did begin as. And the reason I started as a cleric is you get a high starting faith. I find faith incredibly useful early game for the homeward miracle, in addition to just being a nice damage pump for Astora's Straight Sword. There's just, there's really no downside to starting as a cleric other than the fact that you miss out on some stat points because Wanderer and Pyromancer start with slightly higher resistance than everyone else. But considering resistance is kind of a gimp stat that I haven't really found a whole lot of use for, I don't think really missing out too bad. But even beyond the 12 strength, I can probably carry a Boulder Shield as well. In fact, I know I can carry a Boulder Shield, and after they patch the game, the Boulder Shield actually has, I think, the second highest medium shield stability, falling shy right of the Silver Knight Shield, and I will not have the strength for the Silver Knight Shield, so the Boulder Shield will have the highest stability I can manage it. 12 strength. Sorry, sort of struggling with my throat here. Anyway, we're going to come down here and defeat Havel the Rock. I already have a video on the channel about defeating Havel early game. Basically, the trick is to get your spacing right and just backstab him to death, take little pot shots here and there. The Dragon Shield is usually enough to take one good beating from his weapon, the Dragon's Tooth. But in any case, I'll go ahead and I won't really narrate this battle so much. You'll kind of get the gist of it immediately. I recommend pulling up to the second area up here where it's a little more open and a little more predictable and circular. It's just easier to fight them up here in my opinion. You can parry these attacks from Havel, but it's always a risky maneuver because if you miss your parry, he'll probably one-shot you, if not definitely one-shot you. So it's just one of those things you need to be careful of. So beyond that, just stay really close to him and sort of circle strafe around him and get your backstabs in. There's a lot more on that in the actual defeating Havel video. Ooh, strafed right into the hammer. That was sort of unwise. I'm not sure how, and this is sort of random, but I'm not really sure how I backstab people and they have a shield on their back like that. Like, I feel like that should be an advantage of two-handing a weapon, is the fact that you can put the shield on your back and protect your back from backstabs. But that could sort of wonk up PvP, considering how much PvP has become like reliant on backstab strategies, and also the fact that there's really not a whole lot of good ways to. Well, basically the issue is this: heavy weapon users are already sort of favored by the the Darkwood Grain Ring, which I will be acquiring for this character, which I will show in a future installment of this video series. But at that point, they would probably put the Crest Shield on their back for a higher stamina regeneration rate. It just would be another great build to further enhance heavy weapons. And I already think heavy weapons are a little better than light weapons in PvP. Like Claymore, for example, it's really good in PvP, as is Great Scythe. Some people like Z1DR. I think it swings a little slow. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's the German two-handed sword. Or at least the name is German. Anyway, prior to that I was talking about why I might actually want to be using a heater shield over a boulder shield. Well, the heater shield has a lower weight, so it'd have more equipped weight, but that's not the main reason. It's because in PvP pairing, if you're not using a great shield, and it's probably a mistake, you probably want to use a medium shield. I would not recommend a great shield. But you want to be able to parry attacks, and there's three types of parry speeds. Normal, which is on most shields. Fast, which is on typically small shields, and special, which is an extremely fast parry speed. And that's very specific. That's on like target shield, buckler, and parrying dagger are the only weapons that have the special parrying speed. I don't really think the special parry speed is that much better than the fast, but I do notice a significant difference between fast to normal. And the heater shield, surprisingly, has a fast parry speed. Not only does it have a fast parry speed, but it actually has pretty decent stability to boot. It just has crappy resistances all across the board. So it's definitely something to consider for the character growth of Elly here. I don't know if Schulte will wind up using it. Probably not, because I think it's ugly as sin, and I think the boulder shield looks pretty sweet. So I'll probably walk the boulder shield ultimately, but you know, I can carry both. I can take the time to upgrade at least one of them to plus 15th and one of them to plus 14. The reason you can't do plus 15, which is the highest basic upgrade path, is it requires a Tantanite slab, and only 2 are available for playthrough, and I will need 1 for my weapon, because this character will follow a normal upgrade path for at least one of her weapons. Because when you PvP, it's always nice to have a fire weapon, a lightning weapon, and a normal upgraded weapon. That way you have a variety of builds. This gives you early access to the Havel's Ring, which greatly increases equip burden. Really useful at any stage in a character's life cycle, but really useful early where your endurance might not be as high as you want it. You might want to wear some heavier armor to avoid stagger and stuff, if you want to stack poise against certain enemies. In any case, we're going to proceed on up and try to get through the Taurus Demon here. First, we're going to get this crystal gecko out of the way, but then I realize it's in the next set of barrels. So, head up one more flight of stairs. These crystal geckos don't work quite like they did in Demon Souls, but it's very similar in that they drop really rare materials, primarily twinkling tantanite, which is really nice, and they disappear after you find them. But in Demon Souls, once they were gone for that entire playthrough, so it became really important to down them whenever you could. In Dark Souls, it's a little more forgiving in that if you fail to get the kill, you can come back and try again. So that's pretty nice, is that you don't have to start a new game to try to get more geckos. You can just come back to the area and try to get them because they'll respawn. That isn't to say it's easy to get. I mean, some of them are in really difficult locations to get them before they vanish, but you know, it is what it is. This is the Taurus Demon up ahead. I'll probably be quiet during the cinematic, you know, so he can get his full entrance. Just make sure you kill those 2 archers before you start the Taurus Demon. They're probably the hardest part of the fight if you leave them around. And without further ado, alright, there he is. He's a big guy. And incredibly easy because of the arena setup. There's a number of ways to beat this guy. I think I did another strategy video for this on my channel, but you probably won't need one. The easiest way is just to run away from him, go to the top of this tower, 2-hand your weapon, whatever it might be, do the falling attack. It's a tremendous amount of damage. And then immediately run away because he's going to give chase. And you can't just crawl right back up the ladder because he'll beat you off it with his huge hammer there. So you want to drag him away a little bit. Now you can fight him in a traditional style, you know, circle strafing. That's a little more fair and entertaining, but as the first boss fight, most people are more interested in just getting past him. Another cute trick is he has a diving, like a jumping diving attack. You can make him jump right off the ledge if you make him jump through a crack in the wall, but that's more for style points than anything else, and I'm not interested in doing that. I like this way fine. One more falling attack. It's for 500 damage. It's almost half his life. Pound him in his legs. It's over. Sort of a quick, easy boss fight there. Eventually you fight those guys as a regular enemy in the Demon Ruin, so he can't be that bad, right? Take a bow for you guys. Get a humanity and a homeward bone. And Elly continues on up to the Undead Parish. Of course, first we'll have to get past the Hellkite Drake, which is, you know, I definitely die to it on occasion, even when I'm playing correctly. You know, I'm more than aware it's going to be coming, but sometimes it still gets me. But that's sort of a, I think, a pain tribute to Dark Souls, in that they also had a Hellkite Drake that blocked a bridge and was a complete pain. You cannot use the Master Key to open that door to the basement of the castle. I kind of thought you could, but it doesn't look like it. Make sure you take a side path here down to Solitaire. I don't follow his path of the game too much. I usually let him die. You can actually save him, which I might outline in these videos just to show everyone how. But go ahead and talk to him and get the white soapstone from him, which will let you be summoned as a white phantom to assist others, which is a great way to farm humanity and souls, and just to get a little multiplayer in a predominantly single-player game. So up ahead here, we'll do the Hellkite Dragon Run. The trick to this is, I don't recommend just running straight from the start. I think it's better to go ahead and run ahead so you trigger the event, then run back to the starting area. On the edge of the fire, though, you don't take too much damage, so it's not a big deal. I pop a heal just to be overhealed. Sometimes when you run this, you might get caught in the fire and you can live. This becomes an issue of space where you don't want to start your sprint until you're in this detection area, which is usually at that black ground there. Go full dead sprint, keep sprinting forward, take these stairs down. You never have to worry about even fighting him. Later on in this video series, I'll actually show you how to kill the Hellkite Drake, but it's a lot easier if you have higher stats and better weapons. If you kill him, it does net you 10,000 souls and some other trinkets, which I'll upload in a separate video to the channel prior to this series, probably, just because people ask for it from time to time. Anyway, that's sort of the end of this video. It's defeating a mini-boss, a boss, and opening a very important shortcut to get through the Undead Burg there. Next we'll be in the Undead Parish, defeating the Gargoyle Demons. Alright guys, thanks for watching.